gbogbo ìgbà pátá ní ṣẹranù lọ́jà bọ́ bá ta ẹran àgùntàn bíi mẹ́ńlá owó 8 ni ó fi jíṣẹ́ fún bàbá ó jẹ bàbá títí débi pé bàbá fura bàbá ò sì fọ̀rọ̀ yìí ṣèbínú ó tún kó wọn ọ̀dọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ní bàbá ń pé mọdé wọ̀nyí kí ni ṣe yín ẹ̀gbọ́ràn ni tó fi jẹ́ pé gbogbo ẹran tẹ́ ẹ bá kóroko ní já lọ gbogbo àgùntàn ló ti sọnù lọ́jà n kò fi sọ̀rọ̀ ọjà bẹ́ẹ̀ n kò fi ṣàpárá onínú lọ́mọnú alára lọ́mọra bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣeré gbogbo wà tẹ́ ẹ bá gbélé ayé wù lájèrè gbogbo ìgbà tí bàbá fi ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí àṣé ọjọ́ ọkú bàbá sì ń sún mọ́tílé bàbá ń dàgbà lábẹ́nú ata tí bàbá ń jẹ ní òjì á tètè mà ìgbà wá yá àárẹ̀ kan wá ṣe bàbá ọ̀hún ọ̀pọ̀ gan-an ni bàbá ti rá lamí ikú bàbá fẹ́ tiraka kó pínkún kó tó di pọ́ lọ bàbá ọ̀fẹ́ ká máa pẹ́yìn ọ̀hún dàrú bọ́ bá kú tán bàbá yá pínkún rẹ̀ lọ́nà ọ̀tọ̀ ní bàbá ń pé ìwà àkọ́bí tó ṣe pé ojoojúmọ́ lẹ́ran já sọnù lọ́wọ́ rẹ gbogbo ìgbà pátá lẹ́ran sọnù lọ́jà gbogbo àgbo mi ìjọ́sítọ́ sọ pé wọ́n sọnù lọ́nà oko mo fún ọ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ogún tọ́mọ jẹ nínú ọlá bàbá àti gbogbo àgùntàn tó ti sọnù lọ́jà bàbá wá yíjú sọ́mọ rẹ̀ tó sì kejì bàbá pínpín tiẹ̀ náà fún bàbá níwọ tó ṣe pé wúrẹ́ mi ọ̀jẹ̀ rí ọkọ́ kó gbó àgùntàn mi ọ̀jẹ̀ rí ọkọ́ sọnù lọ́jà lọ́la gbogbo orú èyí gbogbo ẹran tí mo ní tó kù nílẹ̀ tí ẹnì kan máa ṣe títí tó fi kan lé mi àtọ̀nà pátá mo fi wọ́n fún ọ dúkàdúkà lè yí ẹ̀gbọ́n bá bú ẹkún ní bàbá ń pé òní kọ́ lọ́jọ́ ẹkún rẹ̀ àwé bí mo bá lọ tán kọ́ ọlọ́rìí tó wà sí ní kálukú wọn bá jogún iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ti ṣe lójú ayé bàbá ni mo fi sọ pé bó o ṣeré gbogbo wà tó o bá gbélé ayé wù ló jèrè àbọ̀rọ̀ lọ́tọ́sọ́mọlúàbí bọ́ bá dénú olúwa rẹ̀ ó sì yẹ pé kó dodidi a ṣe pé bí adé ń kíyìn ọmọ ẹlẹ́yọ̀ tí ọ̀já létí ọ̀rọ̀ rí abíyádé mọ́rádéyọ̀ ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ àgbà ń kí wa yíkáyíká tẹ́bítọ̀ rẹ kẹ́ ẹ má jẹ́ ń fèyí sópin ìwọ ò ní kú èmi ò ní kú ká tún gbọ́ra wa láyọ̀.
Listen all you want. It's always free. Thanks for showing us the way to better radio.
Oluyole 98.5 FM.
Here we go.
Prime time. For those of you who do not know, you are listening to
98.5
Oluyole FM. Let's go.
Conversation.
A very good morning. This is Oluyole 98.5 FM on the stables of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State. Welcome you to Conversation this Tuesday morning, the 16th day in the month of September 2025. Our Conversation, in case you are tuning into the program for the very first time, Conversation is where we bring you stories making the major headlines in the dailies. We do our best to give you top-notch analysis, and because we get to open the phone lines, we invite you to be a part of the flow of our little talk shop. As we try to rub minds, so we try to discern, we try to unravel, and together we try to understand and make sense of those major happenings unfolding around our dear country, our nation, and our world, as reported by the dailies. And that's why the program is called Conversation. Our thoughts, views, and opinions is what we will be sharing with you as presenters and analysts, not the corporate views of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State. And of course, we are networking on Okeogun FM 96.3, our sister station in Alaga in the Okeogun of the state, Agility FM, Gambari, Ogumosho, on the 92.1 FM dial. That's our sister station in the Ogumosho zone of the state. That's to tell you that no one beats our reach all over this great state. We are there. Beyond the state, we are there. Beyond the shores of Nigeria, just latch on our social media platform, Facebook precisely at BCOS, and you are on to Conversation. Once again, wherever you are listening across the world, you are welcome. My name is Tola Teriba.
My name is Bimbo Akambi. You are very much welcome to Conversation. And like Tola said, our sister stations, Okeogun 96.3 FM, yes, headed by Damola Oluyole, and other members of staff of that station, and Agility 92.1 FM, Kemi Ejiade, yes, and other members of staff of that station. We are working together, talking about the networking. That is why nobody beats the rich. Conversation is a program. My name is Bimbo Akambi.
All right, straight to the major headlines this morning. Banner headline before me, talking politics and 2027 and the PDP. This 2027, PDP demands legal backing for electronic transmission of results. Oh, okay.
Is that possible? I think it was operational. I think during the last elections. Yes, but there were complaints.
A lot of
controversies surrounding it.
Well, if there's no legal backing before now, if they want legal backing, well, by all means, they should let them have the legal backing. And well, says party not dead.
Well, the party is not dead. There are still people steering the ship of that.
So it's not dead, but it's definitely troubled.
Yes, troubled. They are in a kind of stormy waters.
Although Governor Seyi Makinde and the other captains still on board that ship are saying that there is no problem with the ship. That's what they are saying. They are giving that assurance, and they are saying that ultimately Nigerians will decide whether the party is dead or not come 2027.
But of course, the rudder of that ship is shaken, as I'm saying it.
Well, still the same PDP says declares confidence in Fubara as emergency rule winds down in Rivers. Dismisses the demands of Atiku. Others. Oh, well, I think that would be dangerous. Says reconciliation, disciplinary measures in progress. Disciplinary measures in progress. So, well, if that is true, there are a lot of quite a number of people that are going to be facing those measures, those disciplinary measures that should be facing, or maybe should I say should be facing the wrath of the party, starting with the masquerade in Abuja, the FCT masquerade. So I'm wondering, so are they also going to extend those measures to him? And I wonder why it has taken so long for the process of disciplinary measures to be initiated. At the same time, they are talking about reconciliation. I think reconciliation would be in the best interest of the party, because we have all seen that any attempt at discipline is very feeble within the PDP. And it doesn't seem as if they actually have any disciplinary mechanisms in place. If you are to go by what has been happening within the party, the way people brazenly, who are supposed to be party members, poke their fingers into the eyes and face of the party, and nothing happens. The FCT masquerade dared them to expel him at a particular point in time, dared them to suspend him if they can. And of course, nothing happened, despite all the bragado and whatever. Of course, nothing happened. He said nothing would happen, and he also said the last time during the G5, said, well, many Nigerians believe that the G5 had good reason to do what they did at the time. Talking about the imbalance in the sharing of positions and electoral contest within the party. So he told them that he would help them to lose, and he actually did that. And he's walking that path again. And what we are seeing here, it is the party bigwigs that are leaving the party for him, instead of him to leave the party for them.
Yes. What I believe is this necessary? Is it always necessary that trying to share power, within them? Parties and even candidates, is it compulsory? I believe that if a credible candidate can be put down and his hands raised up like it is normally done, and it doesn't matter which political zone that person comes from, let them kind of embrace that kind of system, all these the power will come to south, go to northeast, go to southwest, and all those. I don't really buy that idea. I prefer that. Well, I know they want to do some kind of political balancing, like you said, but if that person is not a real good candidate, and yes, okay, let's put him there, and he fumbles, so what will happen?
Well, but I guess there is no way that you wouldn't find a very good and credible candidate from all the
zones,
from each of the geopolitical zones. You understand what I'm saying? There is no way that you wouldn't. All of them would not be able to present. Each of them would not be able to present a good candidate. And unfortunately, there is no way. There's no way you can shy away from this balancing in a pluralist society like Nigeria. There's no way you can shy away from it. I mean, maybe how would you feel if it's up till now, the North they've been in the saddle for the better part of Nigeria's existence, but assuming the North or the Southeast or someone from even the South had been they had been in the saddle of power since the Nigeria's creation, since the birth of the entity called Nigeria. If they had been there all through, and no one from your region has had an opportunity, has had a shot at the presidency or the leadership of this country. So, of course, the question will be asked that, okay, don't we have people that are capable? Don't we also have our best that can rule this country? That is the reality of things. Yes, the ideal that we should have the best man should be put there, no matter where he comes from. But then the best man should not perpetually come from a particular region. That is the reality of our situation.
And another thing I always wonder is about this ticket issue. Muslim ticket, Christian ticket, Christian Muslim Christian. You know, I'm not always puzzled about that.
We're also yet to grow out of that. But even in the workplace, Bimbo, in the work establishment, you see, a Christian continues to occupy a particular position, or a Muslim continues to occupy a particular position, or maybe in the management of a particular organization, government organization now, and you see that the majority of those in management are Muslims or they are Christians. That would always throw up some.
It happens because I know about one organization, non-government organization, that it is most of those who had occupied that position of the director of that department, came from a particular region of the country, like about 5 administrations. Yes, and they were so powerful, and even than the GM. Then.
So it's always well, that's the reality of our times. But then, in doing all these things and maintaining that balancing, even within that, we must also be fair. We must also learn to be well, should I say, politically correct now, and then we must also learn. If we are to maintain that balancing, then it must be a matter of the best person from each of the regions, or the best person from each of the religions. Let's always make sure we have the best and credible people.
Yes. Now, the D-Day is near. Yes, that is talking about River State. Andover, let's hope so. And President Bola Tinubu and suspended River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara will both return to the country on Tuesday, that is today, ahead of Rivers' return to democratic rule on Thursday. And Tinubu is returning to Abuja after cutting short his vacation in France, while Fubara is also due back from London. The return comes just as the Rivers State Sole Administrator, Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, retired, intensifies preparations to hand over power with a series of transition activities, marking the end of the emergency rule in the state. And yes, Tinubu had departed Nigeria September 4 for his annual holiday in France and the United Kingdom, and was initially built to spend 10 working days. And he's due back now in preparation for the handover.
you see the dividends of being a good boy now, Bimbo. Now, if Mr. Fubara had decided to keep fighting, if he had been at loggerheads with the president, and had continued to be at vicious and deep loggerheads with his principal. I use those words because I'm not sure the loggerheads is over. It's just a kind of stormy peace that we have now between him and his godfather. But then he has decided to be the good boy. So if he hadn't told that path, Bimbo, I don't think he's going to the UK. I don't know what he went there for. Maybe he went holidaying or whatever. But whatever he was there for, probably he would not have been able to leave this country because there would have been certain questions we would have had to answer possibly from the anti-graft agencies.
Yes.
So maybe they would have stopped him at the airport and told that he cannot
travel
out. And maybe I don't know what the law says. If you're a governor and you are suspended and a sole administrator takes over under emergency rule, I don't know what the law says. If you will still have your immunity as governor. Well, I'm not a lawyer, but then, like I said, maybe it would have only been a matter of waiting. Perchance he still has that immunity.
Yes.
It would have been a matter of waiting for him for that tenure to be completed. When the immunity would have been dropped, then they would have reined him in to come and answer to those questions. And probably, like I said, they would have let him travel out. And you know what he would be going through now. Like I always say, would have lost everything. So the dividends of being a good boy, he was able to go holidaying outside the country. He kept quiet after that curious election, local government elections won by the APC, and then it was still the PDP, because the one who owns the APC then is PDP. So now he's returning, and there's every probability, every likelihood that he would be going back to his seat. So Bimbo, if you're in that position, make sure you remain a good boy.
Yes, remain loyal.
No, not loyal, good boy.
A good boy. Yes. You can never just soft my ricochet. Yes, I have this one here talking about hardship and food. Yes. One is saying former Vice President Atiku Abubakar yesterday came under fire over his warning that revolution is imminent due to hunger and hardship in the country, and dismissing the alarm as a product of outdated thinking. The presidency and the ruling All Progressives Congress APC said Atiku is out of touch with the reality. And well, the presidency said in a statement by this special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Nanuga, and according to him, while the country is making progress under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, it is clear that what Atiku can decipher is imaginary gloom. And yes,
imaginary gloom.
Yes, that he is not in touch with reality, present reality.
Who said that, Bimo?
That the presidency, reacting to what Atiku, former vice president, said.
Oh, they are saying what they should be saying. Of course, there is no gloom in the presidency. If you are in the presidency, if you are their spokesman, of course, you would be experiencing any gloom. Of course, you would have food on your table. You will be able to send your children to the best schools outside the country. You will to afford healthcare services outside the country, and not the healthcare services that the former spokesman for the presidency did say that his principal would have died long before if he had relied on the local medical services back home. So, of course, you would have the best of everything. Everything would come to you free if you are in the presidency. So you cannot blame whoever said that for saying that the gloom in the country is imaginary. So I laugh in Swahili, like I show you know what would say. I laugh in Swahili. Imaginary gloom. So if Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, in saying the truth about the Nigerian situation, now translates to him being out of touch with reality. Oh, really? So it means over 200 million Nigerians are actually out of touch with reality. What they are seeing unfolding right before them, and the pains they are experiencing is imaginary. That is what that
statement meant.
That irresponsible statement. Pardon me for using for being this harsh this morning. But I think that is a very irresponsible statement coming from whoever said it.
Yes.
Saying that even the president himself has admitted that times are indeed hard, and he has always been appealing to us to give him time to fix things, and he has promised that things will be better. So why is someone now saying that the gloom is imaginary?
Well, he and his principal, like we always say, they should know he will not act on his own. Yes, at least that statement must have come with an approval. Now, Nigeria's agricultural imports bill soared to 2.2 trillion naira in the first half of 2025, joined strong criticisms from farmers, rice millers, and stakeholders who argue that the federal government's policies are undermining local production and worsening food insecurity. The stakeholders also criticized the recent order by President Bola Tinubu to reduce food prices. On September 11, 2025, it was reported that President Tinubu ordered the Federal Executive Council meeting to further crash the prices of food items across the country. Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Sabi Abdullahi, stated this in Abuja and while presenting the paper in a one-day capacity workshop for journalists covering the Senate. He said the president's order will be enforced to further crash prices of food items by ensuring the safe passage of products through various routes across the country. So now, just look at this scenario now. Who is, affecting who? That means these farmers and millers and all those, they don't want the prices to come down. But well, I don't blame them because they have not been given the conducive environment to operate. And the government's order that they should put in place strategies or measures to make sure that food prices come down.
It's very familiar for the federal government to blame those whom they call middlemen for the high cost of food. They refer to them as middlemen, those who go and buy off from the farmers in bulk and then sell at an exorbitant rates. The hapless farmers who are on their farms that are unable to bring their food much of the time to bring it directly to the markets because of the bad roads and because of high cost of fuel, and then also because practically many of them have no means. So to avoid gluts, the farmers sell to them, and or the middlemen sometimes they go and then meet them halfway, buy the food off them, and it actually benefits them, the farmers. But when I did ask a seasoned farmer, a successful farmer, Alhaji Sodiu Imam is the chairman of Oisadep Farmers, and he was on my program, my live radio program, and I asked him about this, and then what he told me was that he said that is a very lame excuse coming from the federal government. He said by the time you encourage production and people are able to produce massively, and what the middlemen buy off the farmers is not significant enough to make that difference.
Yes.
That if they're able to produce enough, he said it's a factor of production, that if they're able to produce enough, that the middlemen wouldn't matter. That it's like the government is leaving the substance and chasing the shadow. That production must be encouraged, and everything, infrastructure must also be put in place to enable the farmers to also reach the people in the markets directly. So when this happens, he said the activities of the middlemen would not matter. That was his submission.
Submission then, and that directive has sparked criticisms, like I said earlier, from the farmers, rice millers, and other agribusiness sectors operatives. And they argue that mere pronouncements cannot override market forces or compensate for poor planning. And he said the cost of food will go down if transport costs go down, but that that alone is not enough. The national president of the All Farmers Association of Nigeria, Kabir Ibrahim, explained, our farmers are complaining that the prices are so low that they cannot buy fertilizer. The importation has dealt with our farmers.
But this one back home, Oyo acting governor launches sustainable social protection initiative. Well, that's a social safety net that will be domiciled here in Oyo State. Well, in collaboration, I think, with some foreign partners. The acting governor of Oyo State, Chief Abdulrahim Adebayo Lawal, on Monday launched the Sustainable Social Protection Initiative in Nigeria, SUSI, for Oyo State. The initiative, funded by the European Union, EU, with the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, and the International Labour Organization, ILO, as partners, seeks to bolster Oyo State social protection structures, ensure more comprehensive coverage, and aid for vulnerable groups across the state. Now, Oyo State is one of the 4 states and the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, where the SUSI program is being implemented. Speaking at the launch, which took place at the Executive Chamber of the Governor's Office, Barrister Lawal said the initiative represents a landmark achievement in the collective quest to promote social inclusion, strengthen human capital, and advance sustainable development in Oyo State. Well, they also mentioned the SAFER initiative here, and some of the achievements: distribution of food packages to over 200,000 households, including targeted support to security personnel and other critical groups, disbursement of 500 million naira in loans to small businesses, and 1 billion naira in grants to strengthen food production and security, and also interventions in the agri sector. It goes on, and now we also have this the Sustainable Social Protection Initiative.
Well, this one, still talking about agriculture and the economy. Inflation slides on unstable economic growth, low food prices. Average cost of goods and services continue to improve, with headline inflation rate declining for the 5th consecutive time to 20.12%. The National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, yesterday released its latest consumer price index reports, showing that headline inflation rate dropped by 176 basis points from 21.88% in July to 20.12% in August. Well, this is what we always have. So many people will not understand all these theoretical, words. And I heard that prices of rice have dropped a bit. Yes.
Oh well, it has dropped, but then if you still want to eat rice outside the home, you would still maybe a scoop for 500 naira, and there are places where you get a scoop for 850 naira. If it's that special kind of rice. And that's the scoop will not be more than 5, might not be up to your hand, your palm.
But
well, still coming from Oyo State, Bimbo, it looks as if there are some rumbles, upcoming rumbles in the State House of Assembly, the legislature.
Yes, I was in that story yesterday.
What this is all about. Says Oyo Assembly APC bicker over alleged plot to harass, intimidate lawmaker at plenary Tuesday. That's today. And the House is saying that it's APC's attempt to blackmail and twist Assembly. There's palpable tension ahead of today's resumption of plenary by Oyo State House of Assembly following the bickering between the Assembly and the All Progressive Congress over its allegation of a purported move to harass and intimidate Honorable Ibrahim Shitu, representing Shaki West constituency. The Assembly joined issues with the APC, describing the allegations as APC's attempt to blackmail and arm twist the legislative arm through its defective preemptive tactics. Now, the APC, in a statement signed by its publicity secretary, Oluyole Shadari, alleged the plot to harass, physically assault, and politically silence Shitu. The party claimed that Shitu, alongside the 2 other consistent APC members in the House, has now been singled out for retribution. According to the allegation, part of the plot includes mobilizing certain elements to the assembly complex today, Tuesday, to physically intimidate the opposition lawmakers, with Shitu specifically marked for public harassment. Well, however, the assembly, in a statement signed by the chairman, House Committee on Information, Honorable Wahid Akintayo, vehemently denied the allegation, describing it as baseless. The statement read, "We find it imperative to respond to this false, mischievous and ill-conceived narrative, not merely to counter the APC's attempt to blackmail and arm to the legislature through its defective preemptive tactics, but because we owe the good people of Oyo State the truth. It is our duty to provide accurate context and facts and to set the record straight." So,
well, the Honorable Akintayo has said there is no plot, and I wonder.
And of course, there should be no such plot.
Yes, because they have been on vacation for a long time, and they are using it today. Well, we have a reporter there. He will be there, and we will see what will happen.
But then, what the APC is saying, I do not want to believe that this would actually happen. The last time I checked, yes, they could have their differences, but members of the Oyo State House of Assembly, both those in the ruling party in Oyo State and those in the opposition APC, they are gentlemen. And even when they have their differences, they always resolve it amicably.
Yes.
They are perfect gentlemen.
As far as I know. Yes, gentlemen and ladies.
And ladies. So as far as I know, so I don't think this is, maybe it's preemptive, like the House has said on the part of the APC. Maybe they want to actually stop what they think might happen from happening. Yes. So that's why this preemptive assumption that Honorable Shitu may be physically intimidated and that was assaulted and them harassed. I don't think that will happen.
Yes, actually, I'm saying here that they are planning to bring thugs. I believe that cannot happen. They are, real gentlemen, like we said, gentlemen and ladies.
Never again. We must never have that again.
Yes.
Not under the watch of the current speaker, and not under the watch of the Sheyi Makinde administration.
Yes.
Yeah, in Oyo State.
Now, the Lagos State Special Offences Court in Ikeja on Monday granted, everybody that hears this name, nobody can forget the name, Emefiele. And yes, we all know what we went through during his administration as the governor of the central bank. Now, the Lagos State Special Offences Court in Ikeja on Monday granted former Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Godwin Emefiele permission to engage forensic experts to examine WhatsApp conversations and a mobile device marked iPhone 2, tendered as evidence in his ongoing $4.5 billion and 2.8 billion naira fraud trial. And Justice Rahman Ushudi gave the ruling after Emefiele's lead counsel Olalekan Ojo SAN applied for leave to allow an independent forensic expert to inspect the handset and verify the authenticity of the extracted WhatsApp messages already admitted as exhibits. And the defense seeks the court's leave to call a forensic expert to examine both the mobile device and printed conversations allegedly linked to the defendants, Ojo told the court. And Emefiele, alongside his co-defendant Enli Omoile, is standing trial on 19 counts bordering on abuse of office, receiving gratification, corruption, and fraudulent property transactions involving $4.5 billion and 2.8 billion naira. Yes, I really don't understand what it does. It mean that the exhibits on that iPhone 2 had been admitted in court and had been seen, and maybe eventually it disappeared?
I do not know. What I do know is that Mr. Emefiele does seem to be in a lot of trouble, and his trouble seems to be multiplying the troubles of Emefiele. But the embattled senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti Iduaha, well, has not been very happy with the clerk of the National Assembly. And she says that he is the one that is supposed to facilitate her resumption. And, well, she seems to be blaming him for everything, for the blockade against her resumption by our colleagues. And he's asking him to do what he refers to as his job. And even threatening the council to Akpoti Dua is threatening to sue the clerk of the National Assembly. But then the National Assembly clerk is responding here, and he says, I can't facilitate Natasha's resumption. National Assembly clerk says Senate leadership court must authorize a return. Well, the clerk is like a permanent secretary in the ministry. It should be a civil service position.
Yes.
Well, the office of the clerk to the National Assembly, Barrister Kamoru Ogunlanu, on Monday clarified his stance on the resumption of suspended Kogi Central Senator Natasha Akpoti-Idua, saying that the office has no role in facilitating a return to work as requested by the embattled senator. The clerk stated that only the Senate, which suspended her, or an express order of the court could guarantee the return of the senator, not the office of the clerk. Ogunlanu explained that the role of his office is to provide administrative support for the resolutions of the Senate, but does not possess the authority to review, reverse, or interpret Senate decisions. So it seems like Senator Akpoti-Idua wants to ascribe powers that the clerk does not have to him. I said he is a civil servant, and he does what he's told to do. And in as much as he hasn't been asked by those who suspended her in the first place to facilitate her return, there is nothing they can do about it. That is the truth.
Well, they will settle the matter eventually at the end of the day, I believe.
They should.
Now, Plateau State is in the news again, talking about killings. Gunmen on Sunday night killed 6 persons in a fresh attack at Iginkwagab community of Mushere Chiefdom in Bokos local government area of Plateau State. Bokos had witnessed lots of killings and abductions recently. And eyewitnesses said that the gunmen in their numbers stormed the community at midnight and started shooting sporadically. And it was gathered that several homes were razed down during the attack by the gunmen. The National Publicity Secretary of the Mushere Youth Movement, Kutiyil Gashon Nahum, confirmed the sad development in a statement on Monday. Well, what I always say, when things are getting a little bit, peaceful, some people, some criminals, they will now gather themselves and believe that, yes, let's go and attack this community. What do they want? I will always ask, why the killings? What do they want? Yes, what do they want?
I think Governor Dapo Abiodun in Ogun State has commenced his resolve to appoint. He said he was going to appoint 1,200 political aides. He said to promote development and inclusivity at the grassroots. That was what he gave us a reason for that enormous number of aides. But I said, sir, Ijebu the local government boss swears in 57 aides to Abiodun. Says chairman of Ijebu the local government of Ogun State, Dare Alebioshu, has sworn in 50 newly appointed consultants, senior political assistants, and political assistants to the governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun. So it means that this pronouncement by Governor Dapo Abiodun has finally been set in motion, and it seems to be starting with the Ijebu LG boss swearing those 57 aides. And I'm wondering, Bimbo, because the governor was severally criticized, especially by the ADC in particular, that this is a waste of state resources.
Yes.
So I'm wondering, now that it is the local government bosses that are making these appointments, is it local government councils that will be paying them? And if this is going to be the situation, then the burden on the local government councils, I'm beginning to wonder, Bimbo.
I am just thinking, like we always say, It is just job for the boys. Job for the boys.
And which is the local government councils that are going to be paying them if they are going to be running on the deal of the councils? Does it mean that when finally the local government council, the financial autonomy is implemented for the councils, that where the bulk of the money will be going? And I don't even know if this has been implemented in the first place, especially in Ogun State that we are talking about. Let's have this commercial break. When we are back, we'll open the phone lines.
Gbogbo ènìyàn ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ló mọ rírì ètò ìṣèjọba omi tuntun lábẹ́ ìṣàkóso ọlọ́lá jùlọ gómìnà Olúṣèyí Abíọ́dún Mákindé, pàápàá lẹ́ka ètò ìlera tó péjú owó pẹ̀lú ìbámu ọmọdé aláboyún àtàwọn ìyálọ́mọ tí wà lálàáfíà ní ìtẹ̀síwájú àgbéyé àti àwòye àṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀bí oúnjẹ fọ́mọ tuntun jòjòló lómi ọyàn ìyá rẹ̀ fóṣù mẹ́fà àkọ́kọ́ ní kété ìbímọ láàrin wákàtí kan ìgbẹ̀bí ọmọ rẹ̀ nílé ìwòsàn gbọ́mọ tuntun jòjòló sọ́yàn fún ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ìjípépé ọpọlọ okun àti agbára lẹ́yìn eléyìí fọmọ rẹ̀ lọ́yàn pọ́nbélé láì fi omi àgbo tàbí oúnjẹ kankan sí àfikún bó ti wulẹ̀ kó mọ fóṣù mẹ́fà gbáko. àǹfààní eléyìí lọmọ tuntun jòjòló yóò fi wà ní ìlera tó jí pépé. ọmọ tuntun tó mọ yàyà rẹ̀ fóṣù mẹ́fà lọ́pọlọ rẹ̀ máa ń dàgbà. ìdènà àwọn àjàkálẹ̀ àrùn, ìgbàláyè àwọn èròjà aṣaralóore àti afáralókun fi yàtọ̀ láàrin àwọn akẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀. ìyálọ́mọ tó ń pèsè ọjọ́ iwájú rere fọmọ rẹ̀ ní sàmúlò ìlànà gbígbọ́mọ sọ́yàn fóṣù mẹ́fà àkọ́kọ́ kọ́mọ lè dàwòye. ìkéde ló wá látọ̀dọ̀ ikọ̀ àárín àti iléeṣẹ́ ètò ìlera ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́.
I am malaria, the king of malaria parasites. My mission is simple: to take over your body, to cause fever, chills, headache. But one thing stands in my way. Come on.
Effective relief from malaria. Comal on. Malaria gone. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult doctor.
Conversation.
All right, we're back and the program is still conversation. All right, time to open the phone lines. It's your turn, and welcome your contributions on any of the headlines we have taken this morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Tola, Mr. Bimbo.
Good morning. Good morning.
John calling from Oluyole.
Good to have you, sir.
The PDP said their party is not dead. Well, there is something we call Okuaye, working corps. All I know is that PDP has since become that is fast becoming a trap. Let me just put it straight. It's a trap. Anybody that his hand was raising will become the presidential candidate of PDP. I want to believe that even those who raise his hand will not vote for him when it comes to presidential election. That is my take. They could vote for anybody in PDP as a governor, as a chairman of local government house of assembly. But when it comes to presidency, I am very sure those who even raise his hand will not vote for him. Secondly, on price slashing of agricultural product, well, I have said it times without number. We have no issue with the middlemen. Neither do we have issue with not having enough food. There is enough food, despite the insecurity and the not accessible fertilizer. We have enough food. But the major problem is this. Most of the grade A farmers don't sell within the country. They sell their product abroad. I manage a farm for 3 retired generals. I know they don't sell in the country. It is the grade B, like me, that sells in the country. Even at times, they will even approach you to sell your product to them. If their product cannot meet the quota those foreign companies requested for, they will request you to sell your product to them. And the funniest thing is that, let me give you an example of rice. When a rice is being taken out of this country, what they do is to clean it up very well, package it and sell back to Nigeria. That is the damage we are doing to ourselves. Don't Obasanjo have farm? There are a lot of them that have farm. several thousands of hectares of land, but the truth is that they don't sell in the country. Enjoy your day, sir. Good morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. 08055009850.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Bimbo. Good morning, Mr. Tola.
Good morning.
I'm Gideon calling from the Colaba. Let me start with the Ogun State thing. The governor of Ogun State appointing hundreds of people as special advisors and the local government follows suit. That's how we reason in Black Africa. Well, don't let me say Black Africa. Reason in business. Some African countries have moved on from all this nonsense. So, but we are still there, empowering people and job for the boys as Mr. Bimbo said. That's what, they really don't know what to do. The only reason why they are doing this is that they think appointing more people will help the local people, so that these people will now go to that. I think you are helping the locals by appointing one of their own, so that when they give that one money, that one will now go to the local and be distributing money. That's how they now do economic crime. That's the economic knowledge. That is how it's limited. That's what they know to run the country. They don't know more than that. So they don't know anything about industry, factories, small factories, employ people, engage people in this computer. There's way to engage people online and all that. They don't really know about those things. What they know is that the family has to go for the family and that's what they do. And we have educated illiterates that are plentiful in this country. That they be really there. That's what we be saying in the local discussion. So let us consider that we're wasting our money. We came to the world to play in Africa, this part of the world. God did not create us to come and do anything meaningful yet. We just came to play. Then, secondly, on what we saw on video yesterday about the Alafi and Esama and all that. One thing is, I've been saying it. These people travel, they go out too much. Things don't go to over this. I mean, why should you be going out and all that? These things, what happened to him yesterday happened to Prince Charles when he went to Australia. The journalist almost beat him up in Australia. A woman, a female journalist. When she was presented by some security people. So when but that was King Charles, not Prince King. It was already a king there. It happens to kings, but you can prevent it by not appearing too much. But they said it's a generational thing. It's a Gen Z era, it's a millennial. They can go out. Kings then don't go out, but now they can go. Well, all fine and good. The other time the hand was rejected by the king of Upper Benin. They wanted to shake hands with Upper the Upper Benin, that kind of a thing. Let us come.
Oh, sorry, that's from your end. I guess you made your point. 070-5555-1985. Hello, good morning.
Hello, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is Salaji. I'm calling from Langate.
Good to have you, sir.
I want to, let me say, tell our people frankly, especially in the rural area. We are complaining bitterly that price of commodities is supposed to come down. And looking at some agricultural projects, it has come down. Look at milk. They normally sell it at the rate of 50,000 per bag. Now it is less than 20,000. Here at Maya Market, look at cassava. About 250,000 per truck is now about 40,000. And when you go to buy food stuff, you see at higher price. What is true is that people are the complaints Italy about government all the time. The price of commodity agri product has come down. Yes, there is no difference. Go to the market. Even if you want to go and buy food, you see that there is no difference between the older price and the present price. Let's change our nonchalant attitude. Let's change our orientation. Let the price of stuff come down. Thank you, Alaji Elabugu from Langate.
That is why I always say our land share, the prices in bulk, wholesale, has come down, but the retail still remains the same. They don't want it to come down. Those are traders. And hello, good morning.
Good morning. Oh, sorry, the line is muffled. Please do well to call us back. Bimbo, Mr. Peter Obi seems to have opened the floodgates for political juggernauts, seeking the Oluyole designate's favor, probably ahead of 2027. To come visiting, more of them have come visiting.
Yes, I can see one picture in front of you there.
Olusegun and then Rauf Aregbesola.
Yes,
they came visiting Baba. I know Baba is a politician and well loved by his people.
Yes,
you know, when he was governor, as senator, now he's becoming the Olubado, and then he has till now he has maintained that love from his people. They know that when Baba speaks, that people listen, and then when he says, so I guess that is why. Well, aside from the fact that maybe the love of Ibadan, the love of Oyo State, but Baba himself knows the reason they are coming. But they must understand that Baba is now going to be Kabisi. It's going to be for all.
All, yes.
It's going to be for all.
And Olusegun Mikotu, former governor of Labour Party of Ondo State, former governor of Ondo State under the Labour Party. Before, I think he moved to PDP. Then, hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My lesson, what?
You try, Mr. William.
I'm a matter of two parties. Matter of what? If you want to come down, let's close the 500. Things will go flat lately everywhere. But one friend is saying, you want to do two parties. They don't have any time. They will put yourself as before. You go. You should do the right thing. Then the paper down. A matter of MFLA. I keep on asking the question. You know, to do a MFLA in government. What of Malament? You want to fight somebody. Pass it around. Not because of MFLA is just saying money. So you're fighting him. Although I don't support corruption, that's your matter. On PDP on Mufada. They are joking. They're joking. Thank you much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nwere.
Also, 55551985.
Yes, okay, yes. One more call or two. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Adimola from Gado.
Good to have you, Mr. Ademola.
Concerning this matter, the House of Assembly between negotiation and lawyers. So we agree with Honorable Akintayo. There's no plot against it. We see all the political differences and other differences must not be entertained. And there's need for cooperation. We hope the members will move forward. And this is security. So, in terms of accessibility to the basic necessities of life, which are food, access to transportation, there's need for improvement. So, government must tackle the issue of food security. And the government should further reduce food prices. The food prices must come down. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, I still take one or two more calls. 08255009850. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you, sir.
Mr. Akambi, Mr. Derrick.
Yes.
On the issue of Natasha Akoti and the Senate President, I think something has dragged on for too long. And the way things are going, Natasha Akoti may not come back to the National Assembly, the Senate President, because I think the case is in court. Court cases don't settle easily like that. It consumes time. I think Akoti Natasha should go behind the doors, do some kneeling down. I mean, get you out of court. I mean, that may
than this court cases. That's my opinion. I think that's coming from the work.
Thank you very much.
From Ewua.
Yes, quickly, one more call before we leave on the program. 0055009850.
It was on 07055511985.
Well, okay. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah,
I'm calling from Uchanero Gumosho.
Good to have you back.
If our federal government want to help us, they want to the price of goods they reduce the price in market. It's supposed to reduce the price of the food. Secondly, about the PDP party, they say the PDP party is not dead. It's alive. You will see what is happening in year 2027. God will give it to us.
Amen. Thank you very much, Masura from Data Naira.
Right, check your time, it's 7:30 and we have to go. We'll be back same time tomorrow morning, God willing. My name is Tola Teriba.
And my name is Bimbo Akombi. Thank you very much for listening. Enjoy your day.
Conversation. Conversation.